But this is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Control me. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me.
Not
You see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about
this stuff. Sounded so outlandish, from like Epstein to even the shit with like Pizzagate and Haiti, and you hear like, man, that shit is so dark. There's no way it can be true. And I would be reading this stuff and be like, something like, again, I'll be like, I'm not that much of a conspiracy theorist to be like, this stuff, they can't really be trapping little kids and sleeping with them, and and still be billionaires.
Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
And the kids were not always enthusiastic about the food that they were being served. So they were always trying to call for pizzas. And you can't order a pizza to the White House.
Would love you to come over for pizza, but
How was the pizza? Was it good?
Oh, what
Did he make it
Amal's
himself?
pizza was better than Clooney's. They both made, everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something.
Should eat pizza. I was like, well, no, I don't want to. And then, because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to. Where did we go? We went True Kitchen.
Hold on a second.
I should have promoted things.
Let you can promote whatever you want, but I need to take a step back because you just said something crazy. What do you mean, why would you want to eat pizza?
Katt Williams was right again, and this time it hit even harder. He didn't wait on the system, he didn't wait on the headlines, he said it first and let it fly. Long before the Epstein files cracked open, Katt was already calling out celebrities who were smiling in our faces while moving shady behind the scenes. When he popped up on Club Shay Shay, that interview didn't just trend. It shook Hollywood's foundation and kicked the door wide open for what we're seeing now. And judging by how things are unfolding, Katt isn't backing off anytime soon. Once the Epstein files dropped, denial went into overdrive. Fans didn't want to believe that their favorite stars could be mixed up in the same mess as powerful politicians people have been side-eyeing for years. One big name that sparked non-stop debate was Jay-Z. According to the files, an anonymous accuser named him, and immediately his supporters jumped in saying, "There's no way," and claiming he was too new in the game to be involved. The accusation points back to 1996, when Jay-Z was still rising in the industry. The accuser claims she woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z present, describing inappropriate conduct that crossed serious lines. The story also alleges that another woman helped arrange the situation, which only added more confusion and outrage. These are allegations, but they're the exact kind of claims people said would never come out. Now here's where the timeline argument falls apart. Being new as a rapper doesn't mean being new to industry connections. Those are two totally different lanes. Even back in 1996, Jay-Z was already moving with powerful figures, and there's old footage of him around Weinstein that people still bring up today. A lot of viewers say it looks less like a casual meeting and more like Weinstein was controlling the room.
Jazzo and Jay-Z were in London living it big time back in like 88. They were in this huge, I'm born and raised in England, and I never saw an apartment that looked like that in England, or a flat, as we call it. I've never seen that.
They lived there for a little bit?
They were there for like, I don't know, 5 months, something like that.
And your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is...
And to make things messier, old photos and videos from wild industry parties resurfaced. One clip, which people say is still floating around online, shows Jay-Z in a private setting where explicit behavior is happening around him. Nothing here proves guilt on its own, but when you stack all this together, it explains why so many people are questioning everything they thought they knew. The next wave of receipts came fast and people couldn't ignore them. Photos resurfaced showing Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein together at Diddy's 29th birthday party, and that alone had timelines going crazy. On top of that, an old video of Kanye West calling things out back in 2018 popped back up, and a lot of viewers said his words still hit just as hard today. Everything he hinted at back then suddenly feels way less random now.
People like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people, so how the f they gonna stand up
for our people. You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
Man.
Liars are now the face of our culture.
Then there's a comedian who went even further, publicly accusing not just Jay-Z, but Beyonce too, making extreme claims about secret rituals and behind-the-scenes behavior.
I think it is highly offensive for people who are smart enough to really know what's happening. Look, y'all talk all that about R. Kelly. Beyonce was on that island where they was kids.
Damn!
Beyonce was on Pedo Island. Beyonce and the camel.
Yeah. They say she was in there like,
Right.
These are serious allegations, not proven facts. But the fact that people are even comfortable saying this out loud shows how much trust has completely broken down.
I hope I can go see her again.
She was singing and look. If you like it, put your mouth on it. This is what I'm saying. It's like you give her a pass. You give her a pass. She can have a concert and everything after she's a known participant on Pedo Island. It's like people want to dismiss it. That's why you can't tell me nothing about what the media say about nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the media is going to make a bad guy out of whoever they want to be the bad guy.
And they weren't the only names being talked about. Like Katt Williams already warned, the list is long, and the newly released files made people feel like his earlier warnings weren't just jokes or exaggerations anymore. One name that caused a major uproar was Naomi Campbell. According to reports in the files, she allegedly took multiple flights connected to Jeffrey Epstein between 2001 and 2003. Some of those trips were linked to locations tied to Epstein's private properties, places already known for questionable activity. Other flights reportedly went overseas, adding even more questions to the timeline.
Introduced him on my 31st birthday by my ex-boyfriend Flavio. He was always front and center at Victoria's Secret shows.
Did you suspect what he was doing?
No. And what he's done is indefensible. And when I heard of what he'd done, it sickened me to my stomach, just like everybody else. Because I've had my fair share of sexual predators, and thank God that I had good people around me that protected me from this. I mean, right now I stand with the victims. They're scarred for life.
Emails included in the documents also hinted at conversations about organizing music and entertainment for private events. None of this proves wrongdoing on its own, but it definitely raised eyebrows. Old clips of her scouting models also went viral again, and people online started claiming that what looked like normal industry work might have been something way more calculated.
And what do you think she gets out of it?
Well, she gets money. When you bring models or people that can easily be manipulated, you get funded. You get funded. How does she own an island being a supermodel?
I didn't know she owns an island.
Yeah, she owns an island. But this is crime scene investigation.
Yeah.
But it opens your eyes to things that you never even thought of, and I connect all the dots slowly, but it all makes.
Moving right along, let's talk about Bill Gates, because this part had people stunned. Remember when he was asked on national television if he regretted his connection to Epstein, and he casually brushed it off, saying he only had dinner with him. That moment didn't age well at all once the documents came out.
The issues that's dogged you is that of your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Do you regret the relationship that you maintained with him against Melinda's advice and wishes?
Oh, I've said that you're going way back in time, but yeah,
new audience.
I will say for the, over 100th time, I shouldn't have had dinners with him.
Epstein had a way of really compromising people. Is that what Melinda was warning you about?
No. I mean, I had dinner with him, and that's all.
According to the files, that just dinner story doesn't line up with what's being reported. The records suggest Bill Gates and Epstein were far closer than he admitted, with claims that he visited Epstein's private island multiple times. There was even an email included in the documents where Gates allegedly asked Epstein for antibiotics, reportedly to give to Melinda without her knowing, after claiming he picked up an infection during overseas encounters. That detail alone had people doing double takes. Fast forward to 2021 and the picture gets even darker. Melinda Gates filed for divorce and walked away with an estimated $29.6 billion. Reports say when she learned the full extent of his dealings, she was deeply hurt, and it explained why she wanted out immediately. The timing raised serious questions that still haven't gone away. Then there's Chris Tucker, whose name also appeared in Epstein's flight logs. Records show he was on Epstein's private jet back in 2002, the same aircraft linked to trips connected to Epstein's private properties. Once that surfaced, his team jumped into cleanup mode fast. They claimed the flight was part of a humanitarian mission to Africa focused on AIDS awareness and charity work, alongside Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey. But online reactions were ruthless, and a lot of people weren't buying that explanation at all. The more names that surface, the harder it gets to ignore the bigger pattern forming right in front of everyone. And bringing up Bill Clinton only made things worse because those leaked photos didn't help at all. Everybody saw him inside Epstein's mansion, looking way too relaxed for someone who supposedly didn't know what was going on. Let's be real, he looked comfortable, not confused. That kind of body language had people convinced he knew exactly whose house he was in and what kind of crowd he was around. Now put Chris Tucker back into that circle, and the story starts sounding shaky. He was moving around these same powerful figures while all of this was allegedly happening, but he wants people to believe he had zero awareness. That explanation just didn't sit right with a lot of folks. When Chris was questioned about it later, his energy completely shifted. He looked tense, stumbled over his words, and tried way too hard to play it off like it was nothing.
When Chris got asked about the whole situation, you could see how nervous he got. He was trying real hard to keep it together, but he was stuttering and doing everything he could to act like it wasn't a big deal.
You knew Jeffrey Epstein, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. We flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different, that was a humanitarian trip to Africa.
Yeah.
And I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know who plane we was getting on, but it was a whole bunch of dignitary people. We was with a delegation.
That nervous reaction only fueled more doubt.
And yeah, I met him, and you don't know people, what they do with their private lives. So, yeah.
But tell me this, Chris. You was on this private plane, and you could tell that it was a private plane because they called it, was it Lolita Express?
Oh, yeah, it was a private plane. Yes. Oh, yes.
But wait a minute. You didn't never go to that island, did you?
No. I don't know where that thing is.
And another reason people didn't buy the whole humanitarian trip angle was because this wasn't the first time his name had been mentioned. Long before the files dropped, Katt Williams had already accused Chris of being too close to Epstein. Back then, people brushed it off and said Katt was hating or jealous. Turns out, Katt might have just been early to the truth. In January 2024, when he sat down with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay, the topic of a possible new Friday movie came up. Katt didn't hold back when Chris's name entered the conversation. He said the Chris people see now isn't the same guy he used to know, and if he didn't know better, he'd probably think Chris was a solid dude too. And just when everyone thought Katt was finished airing things out, he doubled back and dropped even more heat. This time, he started pointing fingers at other big names, including Ashton Kutcher and Nick Cannon, saying their involvement also deserves serious side-eye. The list kept growing, and the silence from Hollywood got louder by the minute. Now, when Ashton Kutcher's name came up, a lot of people weren't even shocked. His reputation has been side-eyed for years because he's been connected to way too many controversial figures across the industry. From questionable business ties to constantly popping up around people already under scrutiny, his name keeps circling the same dark conversations. Over the years, critics have accused him of being involved in situations that raised serious ethical concerns, including showing up around high-profile investigations and backing powerful people accused of harming others. He's also been linked to nearly every major Hollywood party scene tied to industry scandals, which only made people question his judgment even more. What really set social media off was the criticism surrounding the anti-trafficking organization he co-founded in 2009. Some skeptics claimed the group was being used as a shield, allowing certain people to move freely without suspicion. These claims are allegations, not proven facts, but the optics alone caused a massive trust breakdown. Then came 2023, when Ashton went hard defending his longtime friend Danny Masterson after Danny was convicted on serious charges. Ashton reportedly submitted character letters to the judge praising Danny as a role model, devoted partner, and respectful person. He likely didn't expect those letters to leak, but once they did, public opinion flipped instantly. That moment changed how a lot of people viewed him. Now switching lanes to Nick Cannon. While Nick wasn't named in Epstein's travel records, he didn't stay silent either. He publicly agreed with Katt Williams, saying he once thought the rumors about elite billionaires sounded too extreme to be real. But with everything that surfaced, he admitted he no longer doubts anything. That said, online speculation went left real quick. Some people started throwing out wild theories about Nick's personal life, trying to connect patterns that haven't been proven. Those claims remain internet chatter, not facts. Still, the bigger takeaway is this. People no longer trust what they're being told, and every powerful name now comes with serious questions attached.
Truly Babylon if this is the case, and so I would never speak out about it too much because I didn't want people to be like, what the f you talking about? Like, there's no way, like, it's Pizzagate. If somebody told you about the Epstein shit, and you'd be like, man, come on now, this billionaire is really taking, and what, because I don't want to f it up, but someone that worked for him, even on the child protective services side, was actually snatching those kids that were supposed to be missing kids and providing them to, like, that shit in itself sounds fucking ridiculous.
As expected, the public had a lot to say, and some of those reactions hit hard. One person pointed out that the scariest part of the Epstein files isn't even the names themselves. It's how many powerful people still seem completely untouchable. That comment alone had thousands nodding along, because it feels like the rules change when money and fame get involved. Another comment called out how quiet celebrities suddenly got. They're loud about every trending issue, every headline, every controversy, except this one. That silence spoke volumes, and people definitely noticed. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Katt Williams openly calling out celebrities tied to the Epstein files? Do you think any of these powerful figures will actually face real consequences, or is this just another case of the rich skating free? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this video got you thinking, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep the conversation going. And don't forget to click here to watch the next messy video. You already know it gets even crazier.